The envelope felt cold in my hands, a stark contrast to the warm, sunny kitchen. I remember tracing the embossed logo of the law firm with my thumb, my heart pounding a strange, frantic rhythm. In that moment, standing by the same window where I'd packed 1,000 school lunches, a single thought echoed in my mind. This can't be real. My own daughter did this to me. My life, for the longest time, was built around one thing. My daughter, Anya. After her father passed when she was just 10, it was just the two of us against the world. I worked double shifts as an office manager, not to get rich, but to give her everything I never had. Piano lessons, a good college, the wedding of her dreams. I found my joy in her joy. Her laughter was my reward. We weren't wealthy, but we were comfortable. A few years ago, a small property my grandfather left me suddenly became very valuable. The sale meant I could finally breathe. I paid off the mortgage, secured my retirement, and of course, I shared it with Anya. I bought her a beautiful apartment, a gift for her and her new husband, Rohan. I thought I was building a future for all of us, a safety net woven with love, but looking back, I see the first tiny cracks. The way she started talking about legacy and smart investments. The subtle suggestions that I should let her manage my finances, since she was so much better with modern banking. I always brushed it off. That was just my ambitious, clever girl. I was so proud of her. I never saw the greed hiding behind her concerned smiles. The betrayal began quietly. It was a Thursday. Anya came over, her face a mask of gentle concern. "Mum," she said, holding my hands. "With all these scams happening to seniors, we should put the house in my name. It's just a formality, for your own protection." The request felt like a small, cold stone dropping into my stomach. This was the house her father and I had bought. The house where she took her first steps. "It's just paper," she whispered. But my soul told me it was everything. After a week of her relentless, loving pressure, my resistance, built on a lifetime of saying yes, crumbled. I signed the papers, believing it was an act of trust. I was wrong. The moment the ink dried, the world as I knew it ended. The change was not immediate, but it was swift. A month later, I mentioned wanting to donate a small amount to a local charity. Anya's response was a sharp, "Don't be reckless with our money, Mum." Our money. The words hung in the air, toxic and heavy. Then came the suggestions. She and Rohan started talking about a wonderful assisted living community they had visited. "It has so many activities, Mom. You wouldn't have to worry about maintaining this big old house." I looked around my home, the home I'd cared for alone for 15 years, and felt a chill. They were trying to box me up and put me away. The loneliness was the hardest part. Our daily phone calls became weekly, then sporadic. When I did visit her apartment, my gift, the atmosphere was frosty. Conversations were superficial. I'd find myself sitting alone in my living room, looking at receipts for groceries, wondering if I needed to start budgeting more tightly, terrified of the financial future she had engineered for me. I felt like a ghost in my own life. The true turning point came by accident. I was looking for an old photo album in the storage room and knocked over a box of Anya's old things from before she was married. As I was putting them back, a folded document fell out. It was a draft of a property transfer form, dated from before she had first asked me to sign the house over. Scrawled in the margin, in Rohan's handwriting, was a note. "Once it's in her name, we can leverage the asset. We can finally secure the loan for the new business. Just make sure she feels it's her idea." I sat on the cold floor, the paper trembling in my hand. It wasn't about protection. It was a plan, a calculated, cold-hearted business plan, and I was the asset to be leveraged. The last of my denial shattered into a million quiet pieces. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. A strange, calm resolve settled over me. I made a cup of tea and I thought. I reached out to an old friend whose son was a lawyer. I explained the situation, my voice steady. I gathered every document I could find. Bank statements, the original sale papers for the property, a copy of the transfer document I had signed. My moves were quiet and deliberate. I opened a new bank account in my name only. I consulted with the lawyer, not to launch a dramatic lawsuit, but to understand my rights. He discovered that the transfer, done under the guise of estate planning, had procedural flaws because the independent legal advice I should have received was a fiction. We had a case. My plan wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming what was mine. My home, my security, my dignity. I invited Anya and Rohan over one Sunday. The house was quiet. When they arrived, their smiles were tight, expecting another round of persuasion about the assisted living facility. I poured them tea and placed the folded draft document on the table between us. "I found this," I said, my voice eerily calm. Anya's face went pale. Rohan started to bluster. "Mum, that's not what it looks like." "I've spoken to a lawyer," I continued, cutting him off gently. "The transfer of the house was based on a misrepresentation. It is voidable. I am voiding it. The house is being transferred back to me. You have 2 weeks to make other financial arrangements for your business loan." The silence that followed was absolute. Anya stared at me, not with anger, but with a dawning, horrifying realization. She was not looking at her soft, pliable mother anymore. She was looking at a woman who had finally found her backbone. The power in the room had shifted, silently and irrevocably. They left that day, and the silence that remained was different. It was no longer lonely. It was peaceful. The legal process was straightforward. My home is mine again. Anya and we don't speak much. The relationship we had is gone. It's a deep, personal loss I feel every day. But I have set my boundaries. I am careful with my trust now. I've started volunteering, found a new circle of friends. This real-life family drama taught me a painful lesson about love and money. I learned that the greatest gift you can give your child is not wealth, but the strength to stand on their own 2 feet, and the strength to stand up for yourself when you have to. A parent's love is unconditional, but respect is a two-way street. If this emotional story resonated with you, please share your own thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more real-life stories of love, loss, and quiet strength.